Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Njeru. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here. Any other time we have a man on board, the man is looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. But because today we have a man, I will tell you the kind of woman he is looking for. Our guest on today's show is Mr. George Karanja. And you could be asking yourself, why is he single at the age of 43? What kind of a woman is he looking for? And questions like that. Because the moment we answer those questions, then they determine whether or not the people who are watching will be interested in engaging him. One, Mr. George is 43 years old. He is a divorced father of two. He is a very dedicated dad, and he is living with his children. Okay, he is a businessman. And he also pays as a driver, a professional driver. Ni wale watu wanafanya kazi na tourists. Okay? Mnajua hizi kazi za tour guides, tourist. Mtu mwenye anaenda Masai Mara, watu wengine wanavuka mpaka mipaka, wanaenda Serengeti, wengine wanaenda Tsavo. Which other game park do you know? Which other national park do you know apart from Tsavo and Masai Mara? Which one? Is some of these things we were reading in geography. Kuna zingine zilikuwa zinaitwa those national reserves where tourists are taken, probably the Fort Jesus, mahali kulikuwa na the Portuguese in the Kenyan coast. Where else? Ni mahali kwingine wapi? By the way, can you comment tuone kama unaweza kumbuka kitu. Now, far from that, Mr. George Karanja is single and searching. He is looking for a woman who is between the ages of 30 kwenda juu. A woman who is mature, a woman who is God-fearing, a woman who is either she could be employed, a woman could also be self-employed in business. The nature of the job that the lady is doing notwithstanding, he is looking for a wife, somebody who is submissive, somebody who subscribes to Christian values, somebody who is ready to raise the children. And sometimes you realize that when you're 43 and you have children, you also don't care whether the other person has children, because in most cases, the person will have children or a child. Okay? So, and because both of you are going to be step parents, you have to step in for that child, and the other parent has to step in for your child. And that makes a beautiful marriage. We have seen marriages of step parents working properly here. Because sometimes if a marriage does not work, if you married out of convenience, and the marriage did not work, do you die? Is that the end of life? No. And that is why this show exists, because sometimes I have watched people who are forced either by religion or by societal beliefs that once you get married, you should stick to that marriage, whether the marriage is abusive or not. And by the time you realize that it's unbearable, you have wasted a lot of time. Are we together? And I am not advocating for divorce, but what I'm saying is that imagine somebody who got impregnated in high school, and the moment they got impregnated, out of maybe walikuwa tu hizo anasa, alafu mwanafunzi akakuwa forced get married to that person, and they don't even love one another. What will happen? At one point or another, the marriage will come down crumbling. You are witnesses of that. Maybe the person changed along the way, or let's say the person is addicted, maybe to drugs, let's say, or to extra marital affairs. What do? The marriage cannot withstand. It cannot stand the test of time. And that is why most people find themselves victim. And when they are victims of singlehood, they just become, they are ready for another shot at life. Are we together? So I am hoping that Mr. Karanja gets a good match, and he is in business, I said, and also he is in the profession of driving, dealing with tourists. After this, his number is hiyo yenye naweka hapo ya 0723 inaisha na 51. I want you to WhatsApp him. Okay? He prefers to be WhatsApped, because sometimes you can imagine you are working and you receive calls in your numbers. Calls. So I'm giving a disclaimer. His number will be there for what? For WhatsApp. so it will be available for WhatsApp. You can reach out to him, and then we can see whether he will be a perfect match for you. Until next time, this is Jenga Njeru. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to follow me on Facebook, because that is where I post the contacts of our guests. God bless you. Bye bye.